morning, everyone. So, technically, I'm not on the clock yet. Probably. Well, at least my gate. They haven't called me. To,
Frequency mode.
to open my gate. So, yeah. I was gonna say, if any of you out there need a job, you guys need to get connected with your local union, whatever union that might be. Whether you're a high school graduate, if you have a GED, or if you're an ex-felon, it doesn't matter. You will be accepted, and you get full benefits. They give you retirement plans and all that. So it's super, super cool. And they start you off like at least $20 an hour. Minimum is $20 an hour. So, and I think what's going on is that some people are not liking the fact that ex-felons are getting good paying jobs by the government. So, if you're an ex-felon, you need to get in and you need to sign up and you need to show all these fucking people, how strong-minded you are and that you're capable and responsible. And it's just like programming, it's just like programming within the system, and that's all it really is. And, with the money that you get, you buy your shit, you can still work out, do whatever you have to do. If you have a family to take care of, that's your responsibility, whatever, right? But whatever the case may be. But I just felt like encouraging people that, that are struggling, that don't have a good paying job. This is a good way to get connected. And with the internet, everything's being monitored, recorded nationally, on an international level. And it's all going probably to the space station. So no one can fuck with it, Like, who's going to go up there and fuck with that? No one can. No one. So it's only a matter of time before, the sins of people's actions will come upon them or even their future families. Because, and I'm not threatening anyone, but like the Bible says, the sins of the parents or whatever, they go to the first, second, third, or even fourth generation. So, a lot of people can think they're getting away with certain shit right now, because the internet is not what it should be, or what we expect it to be, or even what it's capable of, by our own human limitations, not its own, because it has a conscience and a mind of its own, and it's superior than us in many ways that we don't even understand yet. But anyway, I just feel like, like they're cutting back on a lot of stuff, and they're attacking the union members, I think. So, because they want the good paying jobs, they want other people want the good paying jobs. They want, they don't want people that don't have an education to get a good job. Probably. Or maybe maybe I was misinformed, you know. But either way, you know, my brother-in-law is the one that like talked me into getting into the union, and here I am, a year fucking later, flagging with all my shit, getting $31 an hour when I think I should be getting 60 or 100, especially in this fucking 100-degree weather. But I'm not complaining though, you know, because I can't. And if I was, then I could probably lose my job. But, you know, it beats fucking getting fucking 8 cents an hour in prison, or fucking 25 cents in prison, or 50 cents in prison, or $1 in prison. You know, it beats all that shit. So, excuse me. So yeah, you just have to go sign up. The initiative fee is like around $500, but once you go out there and work, you know, you're gonna make that back, you know, and you just have to keep on being persistent. It helps if you have a car or a motorcycle so you can get to and from work. You could always get a motorcycle for like $5,000 to $10,000, and then it could have the cargo thing in the back so you can put your tools on it. That's what I'm thinking about probably doing with this flagging career, and taking all my shit, my flag post, my sign, my cooler, and my backpack with me, loading that shit up on my bike. And then I could always buy my waters or whatever I need, my food, at the location on site. So that way I won't have to be transporting anything. And it'll save money on gas. And I could buy all the tools to fix up my bike in case it needs repairs or whatever. So I think that's something I might end up doing, because cars are way too heavy. They weigh fucking tons. You know, it's a bitch to get the engine out, etc., etc., etc. So I think a motorcycle would be more ideal, right? And then sometimes they'll pick you up in the company vehicle, which is even better, because broke motherfuckers like myself and probably like other people, you know, we don't have the luxury. Like, we're lucky if our fucking car starts. We're lucky if the motherfucker doesn't overheat. We're lucky if, you know, this or that doesn't happen to our car. So, yeah, like, I don't know. But, yeah, I encourage everyone out there, because I think out of all people that been to juvenile hall, to the county jail, to prison, I think out of all the people in the world, people that been through shit like that should have the most patience. So, you know, whether it's just getting a job, you know, like you getting a job, it requires patience to get to work your ass off for the next paycheck. 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 Week after week after week after week. And, you know, it goes on from there. Month goes by, another month goes by, another month goes by. Pretty soon you're working over a year, 2 years, 3 years. You know, after 25 years you get to retire. They give you fucking benefits, all kinds of shit. And no one could fuck with that. No one could fuck with that. You know, and as the internet expands, the cameras expand, no one will be able to fuck with you. and harass you and, talk shit about you and your worth ethics or worth ethic, um, because everything is being monitored and recorded, whether you realize it or not. Because a lot of people and certain it's like if you started a company and you hired your homies or people that you like, but imagine if someone else came that you didn't like, then you could show favoritism to your buddies but not that one person. And that's how it is with a lot of people. They get involved with a company, and that favoritism isn't there. So it has to be earned, and trust has to be built and all that. But I think with the internet, I think that respect and that authority is given to everyone by default, as opposed to someone that doesn't have the internet and a company that's not being monitored and recorded. They're not going to show that, and they could get by with not showing that, or they could get by with cutting down on your paycheck or doing scandalous shit, but that's why don't be afraid to record. Don't be afraid to talk your mind, to speak your mind, to share your ideas, anything that's bothering you, because whether you're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. It's just your own documentation. And later on, someone can look into that, or maybe even the computer could look into that. And that's how a lot of companies and people get fucked in the end, because they think they're getting away with something, but in the end of the day, everything comes back to someone. Eventually it bites someone in the ass. In other words, not because I said, but that's it's called karma. That's just how life works. So, yep. Join the laborers union, people. Especially if you came out of prison, and don't give up. Don't let no one, make you give up or lose courage. Just keep doing it. If you think that they're making you do other shit that they're not making other people do, they probably are, because they probably don't want you around, or they don't want you, working for them, or maybe they're jealous because you're a better worker, or whatever the case may be. And also, you got to be careful what you tell certain employees, because they could, try to go and behind your back and talk to other people, and then they could gossip and mix the whole story up, and by the time you hear a story, it could be something completely different. That's why, just be very transparent with the internet. And I think the cameras and your whereabouts with your phone, since it has GPS and a bunch of other things, it will determine who your real character is, who you really are as a person, and what you're doing actively throughout the day. And that's what makes a difference, because we're not just fucking with, a state or a country. This shit has gone global, so I mean, you could think of every country, and every country is monitored and recording you, and you're an asset. You're an asset to these countries, so not just the United States of America. You're an asset to every single country out there. So that's the way you got to look at it. And the more you program and do your own shit, you never know. Fucking China might want to buy you out. China might want to buy you, and and purchase you from the United States of America, or a completely different country, Africa, Mexico, Canada, you know. So a lot of people, they're focused in their own states, their own countries, their own states, and their own cities, and that's not the case anymore. That was back in the day type of shit, and that's why don't be afraid to speak your fucking mind, because a lot of people are, and they get intimidated and afraid based on what people tell them, and how they're influenced in their local community. But we're beyond all that shit, and that's why a lot of people get hurt, because a lot of people don't fucking understand that. And you are more valuable than you fucking think as a person. So I mean, that doesn't mean you're gonna be fucking rich. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that you're just gonna get by and barely make it. It doesn't mean you're gonna live in between all that. It doesn't mean anything, really. You just gotta live your own fucking life and, do whatever the fuck you gotta do. But at the same time, though, when it comes to work and all this fucking legal shit, no one can fuck with you. You're good. You're free. If you're out here, you're free, and no one can fuck with that. Unless they fucking incarcerate you. But even then, you have rights. And really, like, God got a hold of me, and He revealed to me that no one could fuck with you as a person, because anyone that's trying to hack you is being connected to your account, to your profile, and if anything happens to you, those people are going to get dealt with accordingly by the law. And that's not even a threat. I said by the law. So there's really nothing to worry about. So yeah, I encourage everyone to join the union, especially if you got out of prison. If you have a felony and you think you can't get a good job or whatever, join the fucking union, because it's gonna help you out in the long run. And like unemployment, I was informed that unemployment wages are going to be cut down in half by an employee. Now, maybe they're trying to tax me. Maybe they're trying to get in my fucking, what I have coming legally, and people are trying to tax me. Who fucking knows? Because there's some scandalous ass people out there. They'll fucking steal your money. They'll try to do whatever they can. And if they think they could get away with it, then they'll do it, and they might think they're getting away with it, but in reality, they're not, Maybe they are, but not for long. And their actions are going to be, like, they're going to be responsible for their own actions. So, yeah, I'm fucking stressed out, though. But not really. I'm just out here all day fucking flagging. And, when I don't have work, I have to go, under unemployment. And then they're talking about they're going to be cutting those wages down. And maybe they're doing it, legally, because they don't want ex-felons to work for the government. And I just heard some news announcement or on the radio that, a lot of like the prisoners or people that got released from prison without a GED, without education, are getting a lot of benefits. It sounds like they don't really want us to get involved or to be a part, and that's everywhere. You know, like if you don't have an education, they won't let you play sports and a bunch of other shit. Um, you know, so it's kind of fucked up. You know, like if if you never graduated, you can never, or if you've been to prison, you can never work in a legal system. You can never go work in the White House, I think. You know, and shit like that. You know, and I think it's a bunch of bullshit, personally, because people change. The internet's there, and that's why I believe in the internet, because the internet is watching and recording and monitoring everyone's actions. And it seems like, you know, we could all play that favoritism game. And because we hear the stories, you know, people that are highly educated, that are working in these higher, supposedly, organizations, you know, they're spotless. They never sin. They never foul short of the glory of God. They never got a felony that they were caught on or exposed or called out on, whatever it might be. You know, but I'm not even attacking anyone. I'm not saying shit. I'm not even trying to talk shit. I'm just trying to say the truth. And maybe I'm not saying it accurately or 100% correctly. But, you know, like even like President Obama, he came from a different country, and fucking, if you look back in the past, it was all white people that were in the presidency. And then we got this, what people will call or consider Negro, you know, especially in the white community. But, you know, he's an African American. I don't know, you know, what ethnicity he is, but it doesn't really matter, you know. But where the fuck is a female president? And why does she have to be white to start with? Why can't we all vote for a female president that, you know, one is Mexican, the other is white, and the other is black? You know, 3 options. How about that? You know, and then, you know, because they're talking about Black Lives Matter, and a lot of people are protesting, and, you know, like, there's a lot of racism going on and shit like that. And that's why I've been talking a lot about, you know, like, all these prisoners need to be separated. They need to be filtered out, and, you know, different races should be placed in a cell, like out here. Like, there's white people right here. I could go out there, I could talk to them. If I want, I could share my food with them. You know, we're not tripping on each other. You know, and I think they heard me when I said there's white people right here. But anyway, fucking. But then in prison, and they say 85% of prisoners come out back into society. They re-enter society. So no wonder there's a lot of, you know, racism and favoritism being shown to certain people and individuals. You know, so I think if they're filtered out, like I shared in my previous video, then there'll be less racism, and we will live in a better world and a better community. Even gay people and lesbians, they're being accepted by all the people around the world. No one is hating on them. No one is beating them up. No one is harassing them. It's all about love, and that's the way it should be. And, you know, with this internet shit, with this internet shit, you know, we're gonna see a lot of stuff change for the better, and we're gonna see a diversity of racisms come together. Yes, copy.
Shut it down.
Shutting it down. Okay, I gotta go, people, because
I have like
I'm working now.
Truck, that was my last.
I'm working. This is my breakfast. Anyways, I really gotta go though, else I'm gonna get fired or disciplined or get a citation or a write up or get $1 deducted from my pension or something like that. Fuck you all.